I need to do this. I'm kind of early. I planned to be on here by 2, but so far I have a tendency to show up earlier for these, so it's not a bad thing, I guess. So we're gonna do a collective check-in. Please, if you choose to hang out, if you choose to stick around, that's cool. That's awesome. It'd be really nice if you tap the screen. But also, it would also be really awesome if you used your discernment. If you don't try to make anything fit, only take what resonates. Only take what fits. Also, if you don't know, I go by Mr. Rashad. I also go by Tariq, whatever. My name doesn't matter. Hi. If you like a personal after we're done with the collective, that's cool. Just make sure to check out the description down below and send whatever you're gonna send by the end of the stream. Once again, please use your own discernment. Please don't make him think fit. If you want to take a deep breath, you can. You don't have to, but I'm going to. You can. 1, 2, 3. And stretch. So, whatever I'm tuned into, you could be dealing with a lot of stress. You could be dealing with a lot of pressure. It doesn't have to resonate, but that could be a thing. You could be a mother, you could be a housewife. You don't have to be, but as I shuffle, that's kind of an energy that comes through. I do have questions, I have notes if you see me look down. So yeah. What is the most prominent energy that you are currently in right now? Whoever I'm talking to, whoever's protected to this. So hopefully the audio is okay. We have the Egypt card. That's a karmic relationship. This energy came through on TikTok earlier. You could be leaving. Oh my god. I couldn't have done that any better. You could be leaving a specific relationship, a not so healthy one. Also, I could hear everything. I don't know, it is what it is. But you could be leaving a relationship of sorts, making space for new connections. We have Egypt once again, and then karmic relationship. And a lot of the cards in here have like a little bit of a spiritual, biblical flair, or religious, I should say, not biblical. There's a card that says biblical, but so when I think of the Egypt card in here, I think of the story from the Bible where they were like, I don't remember verbatim, but they were like, they left Egypt, or they left and had to travel through the desert or something. I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but I'm saying I'm okay. But I really need to invest in like a head thing because I get like I've been really sensitive, especially when I do these. But yeah, what is the most prominent energy for you? Trees. Also, we have both the parental figures. We have mother. I didn't mention it, but then we also have father. So that could be something you're dealing with. You could be dealing with family issues and detaching from said family, practicing boundaries, etc., which might be really difficult for some of you. Just, I see you, I feel you. Hello, welcome. The trees energy, this could mean multiple things. For some of you, I don't smoke anymore, but this could be about you partaking in that ganja. For others of you, this could be about getting out into nature, spending time with some trees, etc., etc. Yeah, getting out in nature, finding space to kind of just be outside. Let's see what comes out. What's the most prominent energy? Reverence yourself. A pen fell. Whoever's receptive to this, whoever's open to this, what is the most prominent energy that you're experiencing? Basically, we have the Princess of Swords, the Three of Cups, Ace of Wands. New friendships, potentially. You could be meeting new people. And I feel like back to the trees energy, there's a really big need to stay grounded, to ground ourselves throughout these changes, throughout these new encounters. Also, I might just be talking to myself, but maybe it resonates for someone who somebody might need to invest in some headwear. Because that's the thing. If it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, then that's not for you, but that's something that comes to you. We have the Death card, the Love card. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So they could be a blessing in disguise for somebody, where like maybe something's coming to an end that you didn't want to end, but in reality, in truth, like it is a benefit to you. It might not feel like that for a while. You might not realize that for a while, but that's kind of the energy that I'm tuning to. Like, you know, maybe you recently left a job, maybe you recently left a relationship or something that was very, not violent. That's one word that wants to come through, but very tumultuous, very not peaceful for you. And you left that prison. It could literally be prison. I don't usually tune into people who go to jail or prison, but that could be something. Maybe you know somebody who's recently gotten out of prison or jail, or some sort of like confinement. Debt is also coming through, like the energy of like debt could be money debt, karmic debt, however it resonates, but that's something. Um, but yeah, there's definitely a transition of sorts. And also, once again, I could be projecting because it might just be me, but like somebody who's tuned in probably later on in the future, hello time traveling, um, you could be feeling extra sensitive at this time, and it might be a really good idea to invest in some headwear, some like, you know, spiritual protection if you vibe with that. Because my head has been very sensitive, um, and I'm trying not to rip my hair out. And that could be a thing for you. Maybe you feel like you're ripping your hair. Maybe you're not literally. Hopefully you're not. But if it's like this sort of energy of like, you know, stress and like maybe not the best health, and needing to tend to that. So that's a thing. Next question. I'm gonna move on because I want to, because I can. Hello, welcome. We're doing a collective check-in if you're interested. If not, it's okay. But, what do you need to know right now? Whoever's tuned in, whoever's open to this information, see what's going on. Karmic relationship again. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? We have the Prince of Wands, instigation, the Princess of Pentacles, manifestation, the Three of Swords, sorrow, Ace of Swords, clarity, and Emperor. What do you need to know? This isn't going to resonate with everybody, and I might have already said this in a different way, but there's a situation that you're involved in that may or may not be draining you slowly or quickly, depending. But yeah, it's a situation where it could be a job, it could be a relationship, whatever, but like, I feel like you might have been feeling called to like leave at some point, and maybe you're resisting that for whatever reason. You're welcome to do whatever you want, but the unfortunate truth is that there are consequences for not listening to our intuition, not as in punishment, very different from punishment, but like consequences. There's a reason why your intuition is telling you to do whatever it is telling you to do. Transportation. There's a reason why your intuition is telling you to do what it's calling you to do. And it might not be the end of the world if you don't listen to it, but it definitely would probably benefit you if you took heed of whatever this calling was. Um, what do you need to know? Sorry. Determination, we have 6 of Wands, success. That the wheels are turning in your favor. We have the Wheel of Fortune. You've been putting in the work, you've been doing what you need to be doing, and it's going to pay off sooner or later. Patience is a beautiful thing. For those joining, hello, hopefully you're well. We're doing a collective check-in, so if you're interested in the personal, check out the description down below. But yeah, and whoever I'm talking to, whoever is resonating with this karmic situation, this tumultuous relationship or job or whatever it is, it doesn't like one thing that I've learned about working with like spirit and like the universe or whatever, is that it doesn't always make logical human sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do I say this? Like, for example, the idea of a leap of faith, like if you're at a job that is giving you stability and you're feeling called to start a business or like do something that, like I'm waiting for the equilibrium to reach out. Um, yeah, it's probably the AC. I can turn it off. But I'm gonna finish this off. Actually, it's gonna turn off soon. Um, Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I don't know how well you can hear me. Usually I don't have too much of an issue hearing. I can understand that there's a little bit of a muffle, but I'm just waiting for it to turn off. Patiently waiting for the AC to turn off. I just turned it off. And it's already set to the proper tone. Okay, there we go. That should be better. So, what was I saying? So, one thing that I've learned about working with spirit and whatnot is that it doesn't always make human logical sense. Like, once again, for example, if you're at a job that is giving you a sense of stability and you're feeling called to start a business or like do something or whatever, you might be like thinking ahead and thinking like, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to do this? But ideally, when you get that ring from spirit, you don't want to like, I mean, you could question it, but like, you don't want to like, how do I say that? You want to trust it, you know, like it might not make sense in the moment, but usually there's a path, there's something on the other side of the uncertainty. And once again, there's a situation where somebody's wanting to leave a situation and it might not make sense in the moment, but trust that it will pan out. What's going on? What do you need to know right now? Whoever's in front of me, whoever's here. We have male, female, Native American. What do you need to know? That balance is crucial. You can't have the good without the bad. Sometimes you gotta be a little bad if you want to get the good. For somebody, if that resonates. Sounds a little trickster-y, though, I'll say. Be a scribe or writer. You could be a writer, you could be a poet. And there's something about like being confined to a box, imprisonment or slavery. Once again, being confined to a sort of box and like finding a way out of that. This could be through writing, this could be through speaking it out, this could be through a lot of different ways. But yeah, what do you need to hear? You're about to be set free. Bird set free by Sia, that's what I thought of. You know. Once again, if you are a reader, excuse me if I'm projecting, but you might really need to invest in some headwear. But I digress. What potentially is blocking for abundance? If you're seeking abundance, if you're seeking money, resources, opportunity, the Two of Pentacles, change, Ace of Cups. One thing that I'm feeling that I'm tuned into is idealization. That's not what I was going to say, but that's something that comes up. Holding on to expired situations. I feel like I know I'm not being repetitive, but part of me is like, this is kind of repetitive because I'm repeating the same things but in different formats. So what is blocking your abundance? Stagnancy, holding on to old things, not allowing yourself to let go of certain things, certain places, certain people, whatever. And I understand as a human, it can be very difficult to let go of certain things, especially when it's giving you a sense of stability. But what's the purpose of like meditating and doing all this praying if you're not going to listen to what your guidance is telling you? You know. The Six of Swords also came out when I was like pulling earlier in the day for this for myself. I ended up taking a walk. I think that was what it was telling me. And for you, it could mean a similar thing, like getting outside, like movement, stretching, exercising, stuff like that, or meditating, because Six of Swords is also a meditative card. So yeah, movement, move, get out the way. I'm sorry, inappropriate. What do you need to know right now? Another thing that you might already be aware of it. Once again, sorry, I hear the extra stuff. But there could be somebody or multiple somebodies who, and once again, I could be projecting because I feel it for me personally, but there could be people in your energy that are kind of like taking without giving, aka siphoning, aka taking. I could just say taking, but there's an energy of like a one-sided connection. And you could be somebody similar to me that puts themselves out there, you know what I mean? Shows up online, whatever. You could be, you don't have to be. And if you're not, and that's a little bit more of a serious, not serious, but it's a more of a clear situation because it's like you don't put yourself out there to be consumed, but maybe you have an Instagram, like a private Instagram or something, and like, somebody's like scrolling through your page consistently or something like that. There's definitely an energy of that, like somebody watching and not engaging. Once again, I could be projecting because I'm feeling it and I'm feeling very tired all of a sudden. That could also be other things though. Yeah, that's what I have for you in that regards. What changes are happening in your life right now or soon? What changes? And it's funny because we do have change, the change energy, change part, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, whoever I'm talking to, whoever this is for, you could be feeling really burnt out. You could be overextending yourself to people who don't deserve it. And there's an energy of like intention. Like if you're gonna overgive, what is the intention? Are you getting anything out of it? Um, oh my gosh, there's a hair. I'm trying to pick it up. That's an ordeal. Also, the music's top, okay? But yeah, what changes are happening? You could be Three of Swords out here. I don't know. I think that was from before. I lost my train of thought. There's a lot of energy here. Whoever I'm talking to, you could be feeling a little bit off center, a little bit out of balance. We do have authority figures and the Three of Swords. And I don't know how this might resonate for anybody, but there does seem to be somebody who may or may not be in a position of authority who you might have crossed paths with. And there's an energy of like haterade, if you will, like Gatorade, but a haterade. This energy is making me really like sleepy, really tired. This could also be other things. Of course, I've been doing things all day, but yeah. This could be how you're feeling. You can be really tired, needing to prioritize rest, needing to get more sustenance into your body. Only take it if it resonates, but that's something. Alternatively, this authority figure, this could be you in the near future. You could be becoming an authority figure. You could be getting a raise. It could also be self-appointed. Maybe you're, once again, putting yourself out there on social media in some way, directing other people, holding a space, however that resonates. And one thing I suggested to somebody earlier when they asked me about being wealthy or something, I think, yeah, they asked me about being wealthy. And one thing I said to them was energy management, writing things down. And, you know, a lot of things, a lot of wisdom is actually really simple, but applying it and showing consistency is another thing. But it is very simple. Write things down, keep track of things, specifically, well, money in her case, but, you know. I was feeling energized when I started, and now I'm not. We used to be we used to be best buddies, but now we're not. That could be also a thing. Somebody could have had a falling out. Somebody could be parting ways. I almost thought parting the sea, parting the Red Sea. I don't know. I don't know anything about Moses, but Moses could be relevant. So, what changes are happening? You could be getting a raise. You could be parting the Red Sea. Just kidding. A more literal translation would be the path is clearing. Like, you could have asked for something specific, or a specific path to be opened, and I do see that opening. Well, they said clear. The word clear, that's a confirmation, I guess. Somebody was telling me that the sound of it, hopefully the audio is okay though. Okay, moving on. We're gonna get into the juicy stuff because this is what people like to hear. It's not gonna be that juicy. But who's thinking of you and why? I forgot what I wrote down. The Two of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, in reverse. This could be somebody you worked with. This could also be somebody that you used to date. But it's definitely somebody that you maybe didn't get along with in the best way. Maybe at some point you did. Once again, the song that came through. Who's coming through in the block? The Hermit. The Ace of Cups. I don't like this interpretation, but one thing that I'm getting is the why. Once again, I don't like this interpretation. Take it with a grain of salt. This person could see that you're in this Hermit energy and want to disrupt you, want to knock you off your game, which is really silly from most perspectives, but that is an energy that's coming through. Somebody wanting to knock you off center, knock you off balance. I don't think you're going to allow that. That is definitely an energy that comes through. We have Farm again, and then Knighthood again. Knight in Shining Armor, Field of Roses, Field of Courses. Whoever I'm talking to, whoever this is resonating for, there's an energy of nobility, coming back to the roots, coming back to nature, if you will. I feel like after I'm done with this, I'm not going to want to take a nap, but I feel so badly want to take a nap. What's going on for this farm energy? You have the two cups. You could be meeting a mate. You could be meeting your match, meeting somebody who's very chivalry oriented. I'm not saying that word, chivalrous. I don't know. This could be somebody you already know. Maybe somebody that you had to walk away from for different reasons. I do see some healing having happened. I'll be right back. One second. So, okay, I'm back. Feeling so drained from this reading. Whoever I'm talking to, assuming that you're actually receptive to that information, you could be learning. I kind of derailed from the questions, but you could be really learning how to not overgive. If you're not that person, there's also an energy about what goes around comes around. Do as often as you would like to be done to you. But if you're not receptive to that, you're not receptive to that. But there's definitely an energy of somebody giving too much or somebody taking too much. And yeah, I feel it very strongly. And I'm trying to move past it. But, has me wanting to conk out. It could also be something else that I won't mention, but I might have indulged in something earlier, and maybe it's coming to an end. But a lot of different factors could be it. It could just be me. It could be you. It could be both of us. You know. So yeah, we have a night. Somebody maybe a past lover, a past romantic connection. Could also be another figure. Oh my gosh. There's an app also. There's like so much going on over here for me. And this could be representative of whatever you're going through. There could be a lot of noise, a lot of things. And assuming, if you're anything like me, which not many people are, there's an energy of like staying focused, staying clear on your vision, on your goals, whatever. Even if your goal is just to like find a boyfriend, I don't know, or a girlfriend or whatever. I'm gonna move on from this energy because whatever the energy is, it's annoying. So, I would definitely watch out for like, God, I would definitely make sure you're saying your prayers and like doing your protection work and all that stuff. Moving on. What lessons? You see how I got so energized after I got out of that energy? Once again, whoever's tuned into your energy, it could also just be me, but whoever's thinking about you right now, either they perceive you to have a very powerful energy or they have very powerful energy, and you need to be careful because that is an annoying feeling. Anyways, what lesson wants your attention lately? Like what soul's journey? Lesson cards. What lesson wants your attention lately? Perseverance, guilt, abundance. I like that this kept coming up. I was on TikTok live earlier, and that card came up. And the reason why it's funny why I like it, because I asked a question on Reddit about what beliefs you might have had to let go of before starting to heal. Putting quotes around heal because it's a subjective term, but and I got a lot of responses. A lot of the responses were really diverse, really interesting. Um, and so I'm gonna pose the question whoever happens to tune into this in the future, because it doesn't look like anybody's here now. If there is anybody here, you're invisible. I can't see you. It says 0 views, but it doesn't matter. Whoever happens to tune into this, one question that you might want to journal, you might want to ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding that could be released, that would benefit you if you were to release them? For example, one belief that is not necessarily helpful, but a lot of people hold, is that it's really hard to find a job. Now, sure, there might be evidence for that to be true, but a belief is a belief, and most things in this world are only so because enough of us believe in it. Like the idea that money has value, that is a collective belief. Most of us have agreed to believe in that, so it is. You know what I mean? Another belief, and this is actually something that somebody commented. Hopefully this doesn't hit too hard, but like, if it does, it's on you. Love is not earned. You don't have to earn love. And alternatively, most of us have been conditioned to believe that you have to work for love. You have to, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be productive. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and work and do things or provide value to the world. That's not what I'm saying. But love does not need to be earned. And then also, just to be clear, I'm going to keep elaborating. I'm sorry. Another caveat, though, of that is that love does not need to be earned. Yeah, that's true. But also, love does require certain traits in order to be sustained. And also, if we're talking about love as the essence versus love within a person, which are two different concepts, love within a person requires respect, consistency, honesty, etc., etc. Probably other things that the individual person might want or need, but yeah. But if you're talking about love as an essence, as like an energy, love is infinite, and love is like always giving opportunities to meet it and to, flow with it. I believe most people in the spiritual community would believe, and so yeah. Sorry for the nuance, I guess. But yeah, once again, the question, what beliefs are you holding on to that are not helpful to your journey, to your path, to your growth? You know, you can sit with that, you can journal with that, whatever. You can also put it in the comments, so it's up to you. We also have, these are actually kind of adjacent. We have perseverance and abundance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, and that abundance says I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So it's the energy, and then that's also something somebody commented. I'm remembering, because the question was, what belief did you have to let go of before you started healing? And somebody was like, that I have limits or something like that. There were a few people that commented, and their heart was in the right place, but they didn't put the right words. You know what I mean? So that kind of tripped me up a little bit, but yeah, knowing that you can do whatever you want, you can have whatever you want, as long as you're willing to focus and put in the effort. You know, they say the best things in life are free to some degree, sure, but it's free in the sense of like it doesn't cost money, but it still requires effort, showing up, being present, doing your best. You know. Also, trust comes through. What was the question? What was I asking? Oh, what lessons I wanted you to pay attention to them at this time. This will be about trusting yourself, trusting in the process, trusting in spirit, whatever you believe in is a higher power. Hello, welcome to those joining. What's up? We're doing a collective check-in. I don't know how much longer this is going to be, but there's a few more questions. So, actually, one more question. I lied. There's only one more question. The last question. It's a beautiful question. It's a positive question. What blessings are unfolding in your life recently, or soon, or now? One of the three. What blessings are unfolding now in your life? What What positive things should you expect? What should you expect? Queen of Swords, independence. Seven of Swords, deception. What blessings? Yeah. For some of you, it could be blessings in disguise if you want to vibe with that. But we have the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, fulfillment, harmony. For some of you, this is a blessing in disguise, though. It's perspective shifts. It is someone challenging your point of view. And whether or not you're open to that is another thing, but it is potentially a blessing because to expand your mind opens the world up to you, or I could have said that differently. But when you open your mind, the world opens up to you, you know? Yeah, once again, the Queen of Cups, or Queen of Swords, excuse me, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups. You could be a writer, you don't have to be, but we have a writer. You could also be Asian, maybe not. You could be going to Asia, probably not. But somebody maybe is going to Asia. Somebody in the world is going to Asia, I'm sure. But more so the Asia card, more to me, is more about like spirituality and like Eastern modalities, like yoga and like hot tea and stuff like that. So that's an energy. What blessings are coming for you? What blessings are unfolding for you? Fulfilled promises. You could be working on, if I can speak, you could be working on consistency and follow through. Maybe you used to be the type of person to say things and then not follow through. I used to be on that team. I used to do that, but I don't do that as much anymore. But you could definitely be upgrading your self-talk. Like you could be like saying things, making promises to yourself, and then actually doing them, which is a good thing. Ooh, that's cool. That's awesome. That's beautiful. You could also be traveling. I already said that, but it was in the cards. Also, once again, I don't know who will be tuning into this currently or in the future, but if you are a spiritualist, if you are somebody who like channels energy, and you don't do some sort of head thing, please consider that. I could also be projecting because I know that I need to invest in that because I have been very sensitive up here. But somebody needs to really invest in some sort of headgear for sure. Because, yeah. If nobody else, I know that I do. I used to have hats. I had hats everywhere, but I don't have any more hats now that I've moved. But that's definitely something for somebody needing to protect the head in some way. Maybe you got a bike or a motorcycle. Trying to stay positive, have a big project. Awesome, that's beautiful. Positivity, I could be wrong in saying this, you don't have to take this, but positivity is not something you try to do. It is something that you flow with. You don't force it, you flow with it. It's okay to feel negative feelings. It's okay to feel down sometimes. But, you know, duality, balance. It's okay to have the good and the bad. Wait, the bad and the good. You know, the light and the dark. So, also, you might be having a hard time sleeping. Somebody could be having a hard time sleeping. One thing I want to say is try harder. That probably isn't going to help. Take some sleeping pills or something. I don't know. But also, alternatively, if you're not getting sleep, that could be like the call that we talked about earlier. Like that could be your call from the divine or spirit or whatever you believe in. Trying to get you to do something that you don't usually do. Especially if you are a creator, if you're like an artist of some sort. I've definitely found this to be true in my own path. Like sometimes when I can't sleep, it's like a nudge for me to be doing something else or be spending my time productively. Do I always answer the call? No. But I definitely recognize that a lot of the time. Last night I did answer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna work on some stuff. But that's a thing. Like if you're having a hard time sleeping, when you probably shouldn't, maybe try redirecting your energy. So this has been it for the collective reading. I'm gonna much love to you, whoever is tuned in, whoever is here. If you enjoyed this, if you appreciated this, engage with the video if you want to. Let me know what you think. Check out the description down below. And I'm gonna hold space. I'm gonna open the floor if anybody wants to do personals or whatever. If not, it's okay. But I'm gonna hang out for a little bit more. There's information in the description if you're wanting, if you want me to answer any questions or whatever for you. But if not, no hard feelings. I appreciate your presence, and I hope this has been helpful to you. So yeah. So you're Haitian, so you do voodoo? I'm kidding. Stereotypes. I think that's a stereotype of Haitian culture. There's a lot of like magic culture out in Haiti. Oh my God, Haiti, the Haitians. There's a lot of magic stuff. A lot of scary stories about that stuff. Yeah, sleep is important. We have rest. I had a question. What was the reasoning for Dr. Gregory? I guess I could pull you something. I'm supposed to be doing only paid readings, but I could pull you something. Or Charmin, like toilet paper, or shaman, like traveling through dimensions. I assume you meant the latter, and not the first. Charmin toilet paper. Typos. I'm sorry, but I could pull into that for you. What's going on with Dr. Gregory? I want to know Gregory. I had a really big crush on him. From healers. That's awesome. That's beautiful. What's going on for Dr. Gregory? If we could get some clarity on Dr. Gregory. So for Dr. Gregory, we have growth. I also did peep the change card. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. So it's pretty obvious to me, pretty clear to me, that Dr. Gregory, whoever the heck he is, his role in your life as soul connections is past tense, present tense, whatever resonates, is to help you to grow and expand your awareness. I don't know if this is resonant, but the judgment card is also here. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So there could be something about expanding an awareness while also maintaining a sense of humility. I don't know if that resonates, but that's what I'm picking up on, which resonates for me. I can be a little cynical. The more that I grow in my understanding, I definitely can be a little bit judgmental, as most people would call it. Big help in your life, that's awesome. Helpers are nice. Helpers are beautiful. Until they're not. But that's good. But yeah. Ooh, we have angels. Persecution. Is he an angel? I'm sorry. I'm just kind of being silly at this point. But yeah, that's what I have for you in regards to Dr. Gregory. Help me to respect my culture as Black. What? Are you Black? I thought, oh, well, I guess Haitians are Black. Kind of, sort of. Depending on who you ask. True. They're also French. A lot of African cultures are also French, which I think is interesting. I think that's partially why I was interested in learning French. Did I retain any of it? Not really, but I tried to. Je soif. That means I'm thirsty, I think. And then je mange would be I'm hungry. But you didn't ask for language lesson. You speak French? That's awesome. Yeah, I like French culture. Once again, I didn't really retain too much, but it is nice. It makes me feel a little bit closer to my roots, I think. Do I know what my roots are specifically? Not really, but as a Black person, you know? So I'm hoping that I could get some more people to like pay for readings when I do these, but so far I've had too much luck recently. And I'm okay with that, I guess. I guess, for now. At some point I'll need things to kick into gear. But I enjoy doing this, so it is what it is for now. For now. I'm being silly, I'm sorry, I'm being extra silly. That's what happens when I get tired, when I get burnt out. I get a little silly sometimes. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Christine, Miss Bull, or Mr. Bull. I'm assuming Miss Bull. Don't assume anything. I appreciate your presence. Whoever else happens to be tuning in or whatever, hope you know. I hope you know miracles happen all the time. Whatever you're going through is freaking temporary. And you should try to keep your head up. Okay? Because nobody else is going to keep your head up. You got to keep your head up. And also, what is the other thing? I forgot. I say it all the time, but I forgot. Anyways, much love. You have a good one. Bye.